Good morning. All right, so I'm going to go back into the Last Caretaker. Now this is post or after a update which changed some of the ship movement mechanics. So the speed was it just went so far down. It's moderately ridiculous. We are parked outside of this beacon. We have a couple of friends. I need to look around. There was this, oh, look at those waves. I also have to keep an eye on my computer. We have this angel that just like followed us from the Norfolk Grave. I don't know why. I don't remember doing that before. But what has happened with the slowdown in the speed for the boat is I've decided that I'm going to have to put a diesel generator in. So, ooh, you look fun. Let's go over and see what you're doing. Here's hoping I don't regret this. You know, you just fling yourself into the water and maybe there's a shark. Or maybe there's just... Alright. Have to... Where's my boat? There's my boat. I'm going to have to unload some of my batteries too because there's absolutely no reason for me to carry around that many. I had them with me because... Oh, alright, fine. We'll find a ladder. Be that way. I had them with me because Norfolk Grave, if you use your flashlight a lot, can really cost a lot in the battery and electricity department. You have a box for batteries? Yeah. Congratulations, you are now my box for batteries. Yep. Okay, so let's put you in there. And let's put you in there. And we are going to put a battery icon on here. There you go. All right, and I just need to use up some of these other ones. Okay. So, what I need to do now is this is going to be setting up the diesel generator and a second diesel tank to catch the, because I have to empty the current tank somewhere so that I could dismantle it and rearrange it, but I don't want to do that and lose the materials that's in it. You can see in the upper right hand corner I have set the game currently to record some of the settings, even though it's in super tiny font. I am just go ahead and put these away while everything is, oh, crying out loud. Actually, I don't think you belong there. I'm hearing that yet. Oh well. Rubber glass. We are entering the area of the ocean where it is just ridiculous how this is going to start wobbling about. This boat is it's not made for this. All right, I think you are, yes. All right, and since I do not need to shoot anything at the moment, you can go. that I may need. Port. Where are my fingers? You're not. So you're empty. My cords were over here. Fuel cable. Yeah. I think the must-haves in terms of things to unlock from the skill tree are the cables. Alright, so we are just going to, wrong button. We were just going to build us a tank and to make sure it's pointed in the right direction. We need, yes. Just put you there. Wait for you to finish. So I'm going to offload all of the fuel that's currently there into this tank, and then I'm going to dismantle that other tank. It needs to be flipped around in order for there not to be just wires all over the place. So we are going to do that. I need that space back. All right. Now, you need to be someplace else. And in fact, you need to be dismantled. Right. Now, let's get started. Oh, there's a floater. Okay. Let's get started on the diesel generator. Did I get... No. You are the diesel generator. So one thing you want to make sure of when you're doing this is the difference between diesel and petrol. Because I am routinely just a little flaky about that sort of thing. They're going to have to decide about the pitching and yawing. If I have my sailor's terminology correct. Pitching, rolling, and yawing. Although yawing may be something completely different. There's an argument to be made that some of it has to do with player versus the environment. Rough seas are a thing that happen. This is just the natural movement of a boat. It is doing that. But this is just really difficult to manage. So we are going to get all of the parts back from that. Now, this is, I keep doing that, sorry. This is how I like to set these up. We are going to put the, stand up, there you go. Now, we need to make sure that the basket, are you? I'm not sure that's what I'm getting. Yes, I need this. It has a basket on the front. It looks an awful lot like the water purifier, apparently. But it is very easy to see the basket on the front. And if you line it up like this, there we go. It's a little crooked, but that's okay. It should have the gas output on this side so that it can go into the tank. And the tank will sit here. And then I will move the poop box up here. What is going on is I'm worried about the boat being much too slow when it is time to get from sea vaults back to Lazarus, and I'm going to need my diesel for speed. So whereas before There we go. Whereas before I was willing to go along without much in the way of diesel on board, I'm going to need the backup tank. Okay, come on. Come on. There we go. First thing we'll do is we will grab you and put you back. Bring you back up. And there's a little bit of fuss and bother at the beginning, but you should be. Put that back. Thank you. Grab you and put you in there. Actually, no, let me do until afterwards. You should be able to see what's in here, what's going on by approaching it from this side. And there's also a gauge over here. Now, let's go get our poop bucket. That is going to be downstairs. Motor's still there. It's fine. All right, you are a primary poop bucket. And you are going to be our secondary poop bucket. I cleared some of the items off the wall when I made the big ones in the middle here. But I don't really need a huge poop bucket. So, what do we got in here? All right, we want to keep one of everything simply because eventually we're going to need it for food. But in the meantime, yeah, put an icon in it because obviously it must be food icon. Is there a fuel icon? There we go. So this is our poop into fuel. No, that's not gonna work because once it's over there, it's only got one screen. Oh well. All right, you can come up here and be a poop up. Do not drop the poop overboard. There you go. And I just tend to put my poop bucket over here. I don't really have anything else that I use it for. And we'll just put as much as we can into here. And deposit oil. All deposit oil. You are as full as you're going to get, so you should be empty. Yes. We can dismantle you. Get our bits back. Use them someplace else. Okay, so now you okay. There. And you can go here. And we will turn on the generator. And as it starts working, it's going to make a very loud, obnoxious noise. It's like a toilet flushing. I don't know, did they change? There we go. There we go. Yes. The loud, obnoxious noise. So I try to avoid cluttering up my decks with stuff. I have very lean power setup of just 4. I believe they're mids at this point, but I will upgrade those to large when it becomes an issue. I'm not going in the water at night. I keep this scrupulously clean, and you're at 11 kilograms. You can wait. And down here, I mostly eventually I'm just going to have a row of these big boxes over here. You can usually get 8 here without having to worry too much about getting past them. But anything that overspills into here, I'm eventually going to have another home for. I will either leave them at Lazarus or one of the other major hub locations that come along later on, because I cannot abide a bazillion and one things just floating around, chunking up my space. Okay, actually, I'm playing other games at the same time, and everybody has a different way of getting to their backpack. Sometimes it's one button, sometimes it's another, and they switch between. So what is going to happen next, I think, is that we're going to have to make some engines. Can I make an engine? I can make a super booster. I can make 2, which is fine. Oh, and then we need to build the item. And then it will pull out of that chest. So I will fill in these with super boosters, and I will swap these out as I get the materials for them. You are a super booster too, aren't you? Yes, you are a super booster. Usually what I do with the engines, these are the ones that I found along the way, and I have created new these 3. I think at that point I may have... The boat is flushing. Okay. At that point I may have run out of the materials for it, so I didn't get all the way to the end. Eventually, you want super boosters on both, but all the way across on all of them. But I don't even bother with the mid-level engines. I just wait until I've got the others. That may be one of the reasons why I am so slow. But no, that's going to not let me. Can I get a super booster out of it? I cannot. I suspect I'm low on some of these rare materials, and that's what's going on there. Drop it in there. That's not what I wanted to do. Why did I do that? Oh, Y versus stick class. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to put my basic common materials in here, and then probably have gold, for example, is not, and polyurethane is something that you really only need sporadically. Polyurethane you get so much of, and it's so heavy. It's very difficult to manage. Maybe I'll just start leaving piles of it in all of the habitats. Okay, so right at the moment, my diesel engines are off, however, because I am going to slow boat it all the way to the seed vault and save my my actual diesel fuel for the way back. So are you full? You are reasonably full. If I want a direct measurement, you have to come over here. And this should be this is something that the boat has 1,600 and this tank has 1,600. So technically I have 4,200 on this boat. But if you point the cursor at one of these spaces, it will only account for a 2,000 liter engine or a 2,000 liter tank, even though this is a 2,000 liter tank. So if I've got 2,000 on the boat and then this is an extra 2,000, they should at some point add up to 4,000, and it should be reflected somewhere. But what you gonna do? That's the way it is. All right, so the sun has come up. Our next task for the next video is going to be to climb this beacon and turn it on, hopefully without annoying our angel friend, because there's going to be a lot of bullets flying around. You better not prove me grief, Angel. I'm telling you. Who's floating around down there? Stay attached to the boat. Don't come upstairs. Anyways, we will set that up next time. This is fairly straightforward. There are enemies on a couple of these landings. There are enemies inside the room that you come up on, and there's enemies on top. They are green spitters. I think I got the field glasses out to look at them. So little skitter bugs, not the leeches, but there's a lot of them if you mess it up. Oh, that is cool. Hold on a second. Look at this. There is a sort of an oil rig kind of thing, or is that the navigation beacon? Because it occurred to me that if you had fuel tanks on that level, you could probably just drop a line straight down there and refill without having to climb up and down the ladders. But there's no way to get the raw fuel back up there, so you might be in trouble. Anyways, it's not a particularly difficult fight. It's just going to be there may be a little bit of up and down, and then of course you're going to need at least 4 small batteries worth of energy in order to power the beacon. You don't necessarily have to leave the beacon's power. If you can manage to get 4 of these in your inventory and take them up to the beacon room, just plug them in one right after another, and each one will do about 25% of the beacon. And so I may do that rather than hauling, because either way you're hauling stuff up from the boat. I may do that rather than setting up solar and wind up there and going through the whole bit with the battery and stuff like that. Because once the beacon has been turned on and you've updated your map, you don't actually need the beacon itself. At least at this point in the game. I haven't seen any reason to go back to these beacons. So I'm going to stagger back up on deck. I'm going to remind you that that's where we are going. Ooh, I am not going to... Let's point as much as possible there. There's less usual. Oh, that didn't help. All right. We'll sort that out later. I will talk to you then. In the meantime, thanks for watching.